Same Super Bowl expectations for one Josh Allen and the Bills. They hosted the Panthers on Saturday. High mark looking beautiful.
Stunning.
Dang near like an AI rendering. Like in that first shot. It was kind of weird. But we moved. Josh Allen finding Khalil Shakir across the middle towards the right sideline for a first down. And then later in the drive is DJ Moore. All by his lonesome. I don't think anybody was in the flat. It's not a good thing. 32-yard gain for DJ Moore, and he actually asked for contact. Little anticlimactic, but still, I respect that. It's maniacal behavior for the preseason, but that's neither here nor there. The next Bills drive, it's Allen off the play action. Nice little dot to Moore near the sideline, and their red zone working it on first and goal, rolling to his right, then stepping up and finding Keon Coleman's sighting. Allen would exit the game after this drive, finish 111 passing yards with a touchdown. So, Josh, what'd you learn from this?
Live reps against other people, different team, a different defense, making sure that we're communicating different checks. And just things that happen on the field, we'll get to go in and talk about them. And, hey, like, if we get this look again in the season, let's try to do this. You know, it's like just learning as we go, especially with a guy like DJ of, you know, hey, if I see this and I give you this, do that.
I thought he took some hits I naturally don't like, but, you know, I think it was actually good for him to kind of feel some of that. And, you know, but I was pleased with how the guys played. It was good to get DJ and Khalil involved, and a lot for us to clean up.
This is like being on the inside of a Rolls Royce, man. You look up, you got stars all on the ceiling. Across the street was the old Papa Joe's pickup truck, man, and that is gone, and now we in the Wraith.
Out here from Northern California, we are not doing one and done with Coach.
And tell those guys every week I do this.
Every week,
my job.
all season long. And you're in mid-season form, Coach. Hey, we know they have a MVP caliber quarterback in Western New York, Josh Allen, but that hasn't led to a Super Bowl berth with these Bills. And Allen's been good in the playoffs, 29 touchdowns and 6 picks and 15 starts. What must Buffalo do to get over the hump?
They got to fix the run defense. It was 28th in the league. And listen to this number, 136 yards a game rushing against this defense. And that's the problem. When you can run the ball against the Buffalo Bills, you know what you're doing? You're taking possessions away from that quarterback who's the best player in the league, in my opinion. And he's sitting on the sideline trying to get in the game, and people are just taking time off the clock because they're running the ball on him and limiting his possessions. That's how you win against the Buffalo. Limit his possessions. You don't want him on the field. And if we can run the ball and take time off the clock, that's not good.
Limit opportunities. That's you have to in order to contain him, because once he gets on the field, there is no containing a guy like Josh Allen.
Oh, boy.
Speaking of that rush defense, actually one of the worst in the NFL, given the fact that they gave up 24 touchdowns on the ground, tied for Dallas in that category. But I want to switch over to Jackson Dart in this equation because of his new coach, new regime overall, just second year in the league, so he's got a lot to learn. But what can he learn from a guy like John Harbaugh?
Well, he better understand this, and Coach Harbaugh probably called him in and said, let me tell you something. I know you're an athlete, and you want to play off script. I get all that. He said, you know, I had a guy similar to you, Lamar Jackson, and I had to tell him the same thing. You know how you help this team? You can play, and you're never off the field. You can't get hurt. You can't think you're the toughest guy on the field. We know you're tough. You play quarterback. You have to play in the game. You got to stay in the game. Because this is a team, when you think about the Giants, they have a potential. This division, in my opinion, the NFC East, there's 4 teams there that can win 10 or more games. All 4 of them. Could be like the NFC West last year. We had 3 teams that win 12 games or more. San Francisco, Seattle, the Rams.
Right.
All right, Arizona did not. But this division with the Giants, Jaden Daniels being healthy with Washington, we know the Eagles can win 10 games.
Always.
Right? Yeah. So it's that division where you look at it, and the Dallas Cowboys, they got the same problem that Buffalo has. They can't stop the run. They don't play defense, but they can score points. That's right.
It's a heck of a step up year over year. It would be in the NFC East. Dallas won 7 games last season and finished second. Coach, you're used to preseason reps. What are you, 6 preseason games back for you back in the day?
That's real football.
Real football. Hey, Coach is strapping up here with us at SportsCenter. He's coming back to discuss why the preseason might actually be tougher on coaches than players.
Right.
Yeah, trying to sort out QB1 again. This time Deshaun Watson versus Shedeur Sanders versus the Bears. Watson gets the start. Second and forever here in the first quarter. Watson to Jerry Jeudy. Jeudy had 1,200 yards in year one with Cleveland, less than half of that last year. Love consistent QB play. Next play, moving the sticks. Round 2 rookie out of UW, Denzel Boston. 15-yard pickup extends the drive, a drive that ended in a field goal. It was 3-0 Browns after one. 10-0 here. Fourth drive for Watson on 4th and 2. Jamari Chroma jams up Watson, forced fumble recovery. Watson finished 11 for 15, 126 yards. That fumble did play the whole first half. It was tied at 10 at the break. Shedeur Sanders leading him out of the locker room. Shedeur finds Luke Floria over the middle for a 35-yard gain. Local kid out of Mentor, Ohio. Practice squad last year. Drive did end in a turnover on downs. First drive of the fourth quarter. Shedeur way over his receiver, Beanie Bishop. Fair catches that, he could. Shedeur goes 6 for 11, 79 yards. The interception you saw. Bears win 34-10. Courtney Cronin post-game with a very direct question for Deshaun Watson.
Do you feel like you've done enough to this point to earn that QB1 designation?
I'm not sure. You know, every day I just take advantage of those opportunities. I just try to win a day, take one day at a time, and, you know, I let the coaches and the organization make that decision. So we'll see in the future.
It just felt like another day of practice, honestly, to me. But even this week being on the road, communicating with the quarterback room and just talking ball and everything, I was able to unlock another point of view and be able to see things a little differently. So that's what I was excited about.
We want to see them compete as much as we can. And both of them had a turnover. One was a fumble. But I was really pleased with our quarterback play. It's not going to feel like that. Turn it over 3 times. That's never going to be ideal. But to me, it felt like we are going to be able to throw the football, be effective in that. I mean, did anybody not see it and say, "Wow, I think we might be okay there. I think our quarterbacks are pretty good. We just got to do a better job coaching them and playing around them."
Well, speaking of coaching them up, Herm Edwards here with us now on SportsCenter. Coach, you thought you were done picking QBs when you left the Jets.
Yeah.
Browns still haven't decided on a starter. Could have had that saved to draft since, I don't know, the 80s. Coach, in your opinion, Browns 2026, who has the edge right now?
What my eyes tell me in the preseason game, Deshaun Watson, he looked pretty good for a guy that hadn't played football in a while. I mean, you could imagine the butterflies that were running through his stomach in the first series of play. Handled himself pretty well, in my opinion. Look, he was a talented guy when he left the Texans, and a lot of things have happened since then. But I think this was an outing for him that he gained a little bit of confidence. Players always talk about confidence, then they got to go do it. He actually did it. I get it. It's a preseason game. But what he put on tape right now, he can look at and go, okay.
Something to build on,
yes,
at the very least.
Yes.
But look, we're going to get your thoughts on both Josh Allen, Jackson Dart, a couple of other cats. But let's move from the AFC right now to the NFC in the North Division as well.
That is where the Vikings have actually sorted out their QB competition. K1 in the front of that picture is the one who gets the start. Led the offense on the first drive, 1st and 10 near midfield, off the play action look, finding Max Bredesen out there for a short gain, and then 2 plays later, money down, goes to a money receiver. Jordan Addison reeling that one in to move the chains. Vikings would kick a field goal to end the drive and Murray's day. So let's check in on second-year quarterback J.J. McCarthy. 1st and 10 from their own 25 off the bootleg. Dunks it off to Ben Jurasik for the 7-yard gain, and then later in the drive, it's Miles Price on the receiving end of a 17-yard pickup. Vikings will be forced to punt later in that drive, but the next Vikings drive, some heat brought to JJ's front door. He tries to escape, but will not do so. Loss of 4 yards there. 4 of 7, the final stat line, but we begin with K1's post-game thoughts.
I've never been more excited to play a preseason game, you know, just because, like I said, I haven't played since October. So just really taking advantage of the opportunity, seeing it as a blessing, and just coming out here getting to touch the field again. There's nothing like it. You know, I was just looking around pregame and just really soaking it in. I think this being my first time really, you know, having to learn a whole new system, that was probably the toughest thing for me. But today was everything I thought it would be. You know, it's like I said, reality setting in, and I'm glad to be doing something like that.
8 plays, it took everything in me not to, keep him out there, but we kind of got a lot of the things we wanted to see out of that group, done, and obviously a big week with the joint practices. Those guys will get a ton of work between Wednesday and Thursday.
Only question with Minnesota's opponent Saturday is, can they keep Jackson Dart healthy, giving fans a Dart attack? Too tough for his own good at times as a rookie. First preseason action of his sophomore season, first game under John Harbaugh. First drive for New York, went 6 plays, 5 yards. Second drive, Dart never saw Jay Ward. He wore 5 at LSU.
Neither did that running back on pass play.
Dart laid out, got removed from the game into the blue medical tent. Here's what he had to say about, again, receiving extra attention.
I really respect the rules and the thought behind, NFL has of keeping players healthy and reviewing things, but at the same time, I'm still puzzled by it just feeling like every time that I get hit, I just find my way in there.
Small margins between Big Blue and the Big Blue tent. Dart back in, though, later in the drive, buying time, and tosses it up to Malachi Fields, round 3 rookie out of Notre Dame, waking up the echoes. Great connection there. Dart goes 3 for 4, 26 yards and a touchdown. Led 10-0 at halftime. Coach Harbaugh, what'd you think of your starters?
They got reps in a game, which they're not going to get until the first game if you don't play them in the preseason. And it's different. They played their whole starting defense. I felt like the other guys playing together was important, especially with Jackson out there. And our quarterback got 10, 15 plays out there of good football.
Yeah, I'm ready to go out there whenever my number's called. I love this game, and I want to take full advantage of every opportunity that I have when I'm out there. So I love being out there. I love being out there with the guys, with the boys, and just competing. So, like I said, whenever my number's called, I'm excited.
Oh, by the way, it was a big old reunion for Big Blue. Cam Scatterbo back off a nasty ankle injury. OBJ back in New York after 8 years away. That'll be a fun LSU duo when Malik Neighbors gets back in there.
Oh, boy.
Killer Cam starting early. This dude's like if Mike Allstott found 4 Loco. Back-to-back runs here, 7, 5 yards. Scatterbo lowering his shoulder. 4 carries, 19 yards on the day. And then OBJ, a little bit of a slower start to the preseason. He is 33. Only had 2 catches, both coming from Jameis Winston, who had an off-season adventure. First grab, quick 6 yards. Second catch, no gain. Number 12 overall pick of the G-Men 2014 did play.
Their preseason started with the Chiefs. Justin Fields likely thankful that Aaron Donald hasn't yet shown up. First quarter, 1st and 10 for Fields. Rolling out to his left, connecting with Jalen Royals for 6 yards. And then the next play, Rashard Smith on the screen look somehow escapes that and gets himself a little first down after a gain of 8. They would end in a punt that drive. Fields, his day was done there. How about Ty Simpson? Raised some eyebrows when his name was called in that draft as early as it was, but here, finding Mark Redmond for 23 yards. Nice game for Simpson in his first NFL preseason completion, and then 4th quarter action, linking up with Dean Connors. Now, Dean does a lot of the work here, gets to pay dirt, but it's his first touchdown pass nonetheless. Later in the quarter, Brennan Presley going down to get that one, a gain of 23. Sean McVay said post-game that Simpson took what the defense gave him. That wound up with him going 21 of 25 with 2 tuds. Rams go on to win it 20-12.
Talking ball again with Coach Herm Edwards and one for the road. Coach, first week of the preseason's in the books. I know you're dialed in. You can see the notepad over there. It carries it everywhere. What is your biggest takeaway, Coach, from the first round of preseason games?
We're not even looking at the players for me. Players are players. They play. When you're a coach, a new coach, 10 new head coaches, that's 20 coordinators, offense, defense. 30 new coaches in the league. You're bringing your staff in as a head coach. Preseason games are more important to your staff than it is to the players. You know why? Because you want to know how those coaches are coaching the players on the sideline. This ain't practice, this is the game now. How will they communicate when the players, when something breaks down? Offensive line coach, defensive back coach, linebacker coach, defensive coordinator. You want to see how they're bringing the players to the sideline. I always tell coaches this. in a football game. You got 30 seconds to fix them. They're coming off the field, you got to fix them. You know what? They want answers. They want answers why something happened. You got to fix it. Right. And this is where you watch your staff work. And this is why preseason is great. You know, coaches love preseason because they learn how to coach as a staff. Players, they don't want to play preseason games. I get it. I understand that, okay? But the coaches now don't have as many to work with.
Right.
This is work in progress. There's 30 new coaches.
Yes.
Coordinators, head coaches, there's 30 of them.
Yes.
Not even talk about the other assistant coaches on staff. There's a lot that goes into this.
It's a rehearsal for everybody involved, and ain't no benefit of a script like you do on that practice field, baby.
You can't, Coach, can I run it again? No, you can't run it again. We're playing the game.
Turnover. We're just going to keep it moving. 10 head coaches, tied for most entering a single season in NFL history. So, yeah, a lot of learning to do. We always got Coach Harm to take care of us on that front. Appreciate it.
Oh, football's here, isn't it? Isn't it lovely? Football's here. Oh, boy.
Hey, football's here, but other sports going on Saturday. Lax